What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Bulls Report. My name is Patrick Seatman, and we got a wild trade idea we're going to be discussing on today's show. It's all going to be centered around, yes, you see the guy on your screen right here, Zion Williamson. This is a trade idea thrown out there on Bulls Twitter, and it kind of gained steam because of the reports that the Pelicans could possibly be wanting to trade up and try to get Scoot Henderson. And just obviously the Hornets, maybe they could be trying to, push all their chips to the center of the table. So this wild trade idea was cooked up on Twitter, and it's a 3-team trade. And it's a wild one, to say the least. The Bulls would be receiving, of course, Zion Williamson and Gordan Hayward, but they would also be giving up Zach LaVine, Patrick Williams, and Alex Caruso. So the Hornets get LaVine. The Pelicans get Scoot Henderson. Ideally, they'll take him number 2 overall. Also, Patrick Williams with Alex Caruso. And then the Bulls, they land Zion Williamson and Gordan Hayward. I'll be deep diving into this in a second. But, guys, we are still doing our race to 100 subscribers with our Celtics Today show here at Chat Sports. Good start yesterday. We picked up 31 subscribers, so shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for joining the family. But our Celtics Today show, they picked up 37. This is going to be a barn burner, so if you guys haven't already, help me out. I kind of want to win this competition against my man, Will Scott, who runs our Celtics Today show. So hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already. We'll just be your one-stop shop for all Chicago Bulls news. But let's talk about it some more. This wild trade idea thrown out there. First thing that stands out to me when I'm looking at this, the Bulls are giving up a ton. Like, you're giving up Patrick Williams, Caruso, and Zach LaVine. Like, those are 3 of your probably higher up trade packages or trade just assets that you have for the Chicago Bulls, and you're not getting any draft picks in this trade, but you are getting Zion and you are getting Gordan Hayward. And we can kind of start this whole deep dive with starting with Zion Williamson. This past season, and obviously limited minutes or limited games played, it's kind of been the red flag with Zion throughout his career. 26 points a game, 7 rebounds a game, just under 5 assists, but he shot 60.8% from the field, and he actually shot 37% from deep. Like, Zion, when he is healthy, he is one of the better players in the NBA, and honestly one of the more fun players to watch. But I will say this, Zion is just a walking red flag. Like, we can talk about the injuries and everything. Like, he has not played he's only played over 60 games once in his career. His rookie year is 24 games played. Obviously, this past year, 29. He just has a lot going on, and obviously, if you guys seen the kind of off-the-court issue talking about his baby mama drama, I guess is a way to describe it. He's just got a lot going on with his injuries and kind of the Twitter beef going on that side of the floor or court or whatever. But he is an unreal talent. Like, I will say this about Zion. He is a unreal basketball player when he is healthy. That one year where he played 61 games, he was fantastic for the Pelicans. He averaged 27 points a game on 61% from the field. Like, when he is fully healthy and he is ready to go, I still think Zion could potentially be a superstar in the NBA. Could he ever be a 1 on a championship team? Who knows? It's obviously going to come down to the health and if he kind of takes more care of his body. Like, if Zion could ever, just shed 20 pounds and kind of get that lean, kind of bulky still kind of archetype to his body, like, I really do think Zion could potentially be a 1 on a championship team. But I'll ask you guys, would you take a chance on Zion Williamson? I'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say because I feel like Zion's a very polarizing player right now in the NBA. But give me a Y for yes, N for no. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break your way. Sit back, let it play, and answer today's pinned comment. But the other player that the Bulls would be receiving in this wild trade idea that was thrown out there, they begin Gordan Hayward, who Gordan Hayward has kind of revitalized himself a little bit following the, obviously brutal leg injuries that he suffered throughout his NBA career. But this past season, he was solid. Obviously the three-point shooting lower than I expected when I was diving into Gordan Hayward here, but 15 points a game, just under 5 rebounds, just under 5 assists, and still shooting 47.5% from the field. But the thing is with Gordan Hayward, he hasn't played more than 52 games since 2018. Obviously, the injuries have kind of derailed his career, but when he's out there, I still think he is a very solid option. I think he could be a very good role player in the NBA, and honestly, I think he could be a 3rd, 4th, 5th option, kind of like what we've seen like Aaron Gordon be for the Nuggets. Obviously, totally different play styles, but kind of that like tertiary 4th option on a championship team. We got to talk about it. If the Bulls are kind of moving off and kind of rebuilding, and you get Zion and Gordon Hayward, like, would that get it done? Like, honestly, just no. Like, I don't think it would get it done at all. Like, the Bulls, the thing that frustrates me about this trade idea so much is you are giving up a lot. Like, the Bulls are giving up LaVine, Caruso, and Patrick Williams, and you're getting no draft picks. And yes, you are getting Zion. Like, Zion is the prize. Like, if Zion would ever work out and figure out the off-the-court stuff and kind of figure out the injuries and kind of, take a little bit better care of his body, like Zion would be a huge trade piece for the Bulls, and the Bulls could legitimately build around him. But you're giving up a lot, and it's just a huge risk to take on a guy that, frankly, hasn't shown you in his NBA career that he will stay healthy and kind of be a true leader and a true one on your team. So I don't know. This trade, the Bulls are giving up a lot, and you are giving up Patrick Williams. And like I've said, like I am a huge fan of Patrick Williams, what he's done in his short career for the Chicago Bulls. Like anytime I show you guys his stats, it's his efficiency. Like I say it over and over again, like just the work ethic that he's shown throughout his NBA career, from going from a guy that couldn't shoot a lick in college, couldn't shoot a lick his rookie and sophomore season, but this past year really taking that step up and shooting 41.5% from deep. He's an incredible catch and shoot guy as well. He also is kind of has a little PJ Tucker in him with his corner three shooting ability. But overall, like the Bulls, like don't give up on a guy like Patrick Williams for a guy like Zion and Gordon Hayward. Like, I would rather roll the die with Patrick Williams and see what he can turn into, because the efficiency's there. It's just going to be the shot attempts. Like, I've shown this a couple times now, but he's fourth by a wide margin on this kind of Bulls shot attempts per game graphic. Like, obviously, the big three get majority of the shots, as they should on most NBA teams. But the Bulls were to move off LaVine or DeRozan, like, I would love to see what Patrick Williams could do with 12 to 15 shots a game. See if he could be a true, like, 15 to 16 points per game guy, still shooting, obviously, pretty well from the field. But this was the trade idea. I'll ask you guys, would you accept this trade? The Bulls, they get Zion Williamson and Gordon Hayward. York sending Zach LaVine to Charlotte, and then Charlotte is sending that second overall pick to the Pelicans, where they would draft Scoot Henderson. And then the Bulls would also be sending Patrick Williams and Alex Caruso to New Orleans as well. Give me an A for accept, D for decline. I'm definitely typing my D's. I just think the Bulls can get more. Like, you are giving up your most sought-after trade asset in Zach LaVine, and you just don't get any picks. Like, the Bulls are in such a tough spot right now, where it's like they are in the NBA purgatory, where they're not good enough to compete for championships, but you're also not bad enough to have a top pick in the NBA draft. And obviously with the Nikola Vucevic trade, the Bulls don't have any picks this year. And I think that's one thing the Bulls, going into this offseason, they have to somehow get some sort of picks if you are going to blow it up. Like, this is a complete blow it up type of trade, and you just don't get any draft picks. And then just kind of possible trade value for the three guys you gave up. So right now in this trade that was thrown out there, the Bulls got Zion and Gordon Hayward. I think you could at least get 2 first-round picks and possibly a player for Zach LaVine. And for a guy like Alex Caruso, I think you can honestly get a late first-round pick. I think maybe a championship-level team could be like, we need another role player. He was first-team all-defense this past season. I think I could see a team kind of taking a chance on Caruso and just saying you could be the glue guy on offense and obviously be our anchor defensively. And I honestly still think you get a first-round pick for Patrick Williams. I think another team could look at what he's done this past season and be like, you know what? He was taken 4th overall out of Florida State for a reason. Like, maybe we could throw him a first-round pick for that. But overall, the Bulls, the fact that they're getting Zion and Gordon Hayward and no draft picks, when I think if we're just talking picks here, you could at least get 4 picks in just from these 3 players alone, which I would much rather go the pick route than kind of take a chance on Zion, because honestly, Zion just hasn't shown you it, that he's going to be able to consistently stay healthy and consistently be on the floor and be a solid player. So I'm out on that trade. It was fun to talk about. Obviously, Zion to Chicago that'll be a ton of fun. And if he would stay healthy, I mean, the highlights would be unreal, and it would be fun to see Zion in the red, in the Chicago Bulls red. But overall, I'm out on it. Guys, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Stay in the loop of all Bulls news and rumors. We'll be your one-stop shop for whatever it is. As always, go Bulls.